Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that quietly shapes pretty much everyone's financial life. And it's often totally under the radar. We're not talking complex stocks or, intense budgeting this time. It's something much closer to home, baked right into our daily routines. It's that constant lure of convenience. Just maybe take a second and think about the last day or two. How many times did you, maybe without even thinking, reach for an app?
Mm-hmm.
Get coffee delivered or swing through the drive-thru.
Hmm.
Maybe you've got the subscription boxes showing up or you pay someone to do the laundry. We all do it, right? Because honestly, convenience feels like it saves us, saves that precious time.
Yeah, time feels like the scarcest resource these days.
Exactly. But here's the big question we're really digging into today.
Hmm.
What if all that time you think you're saving, what if it's actually costing you a fortune? Like a serious fortune long term?
It's a really important question. And what makes it tricky, kind of insidious really, is that these aren't big one-off things. They're tiny decisions, right? Every day. Little things that just add up. And the source material we're looking at today really hammers this home. It's not just about the dollars spent right now. It hints at something deeper, a financial impact that can quietly drain your wealth potential. And you might never even link the two.
That's it, exactly. And to really shine a light on these hidden costs, our deep dive today is into this really insightful source. It's called The Cost of Convenience, Reclaiming Your Wealth. So our mission here is to pull out the most crucial insights, especially those calculations and examples that, well, they make you sit up and take notice. So where does the source start? What's that first, maybe most relatable habit it tackles?
Well, it kicks off with something loads of us do almost automatically. That morning coffee shop run. The book does the math,
Yeah.
a seemingly small $5 a day.
Okay, $5. Seems harmless enough.
Right. But then it shows how that quickly becomes $150 a month, and then bam, over a year, that's $1,800.
Yeah.
It almost sounds trivial seeing it like that. But seeing the annual total from just one habit, that's often the first real wake-up call.
Wow. Okay, yeah, $1,800 just from daily coffee. When you frame it like that, it is genuinely staggering. But the source doesn't stop there, does it? It connects this to a bigger idea, something beyond just the money walking out the door.
It does, absolutely. Because the real question is, what's the true cost? Beyond just the cash. And this is where the source really digs into the concept of opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost.
Right. That $150 a month, if you didn't spend it, if you invested it instead, it doesn't just vanish. It has the potential to grow. So let's say you put it into something straightforward, like an S&P 500 index fund, basically investing broadly in the top U.S. companies.
A common strategy.
And you get, say, an average 8% return, which is historically reasonable long-term, that $1,800 a year. Over 10 years, it could grow to more than $26,000.
$26,000 from coffee money.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. The source highlights. Compounding isn't linear. Over 20, 30 years. It snowballs. It can be hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
So it's not just the money you spend, it's the huge potential wealth you never even got the chance to build.
That is powerful. And coffee is such a clear example, but it's not the only one, right? The source points out other common convenience traps we fall into. What else does it mention?
Oh, definitely. Think about the supermarket. Those pre-cut veggies.
Guilty. Yeah.
They're always more expensive, sometimes significantly, than just buying a whole vegetable and spending, 2 minutes chopping. Or those meal delivery kits. They seem convenient, save you planning maybe.
They advertise saving time, yeah.
But the cost per meal,
Yeah.
often double what it would cost you to just buy the ingredients and cook it yourself. The book really makes the point that these aren't tiny little upcharges when you add them all together. They compound, too, in a way.
It's funny how we justify them, isn't it? Oh, it's just a couple extra bucks for the pre-cut onion saves me 5 minutes. I've definitely thought that. But then the source makes you think, hang on, what's the real price of those 5 minutes over years? So building on these specific examples, the source then zooms out to this bigger overarching theme, it calls it.
Yeah, it frames it really starkly. The hidden cost of convenience is described as a silent killer of wealth.
Wow, silent killer.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? It talks about it being like a mountain of missed opportunity, all built from these tiny everyday choices that feel totally insignificant in the moment. And the reason it's so effective, so insidious, is because it plays on our psychology. We're wired for that instant reward, right?
Instant gratification.
Exactly. So we naturally undervalue future gains compared to immediate comfort or ease. We just don't feel that slow drain happening.
Okay, so if convenience is this silent killer, what's the antidote according to the source? It can't be about just ditching all convenience, surely. That feels impossible for most people.
No, exactly. And the source is realistic about that.
Yeah.
The solution isn't about, like, extreme austerity or making life difficult. It's much simpler, but maybe harder in practice.
Hmm.
It's about being intentional.
Intentional. Okay.
It suggests just pausing. Before you make that convenient purchase, just stop for a beat and ask yourself one simple question. Is this specific convenience really worth the cost? And not just the financial cost right now, but also considering your long-term goals.
Ah, linking it to the bigger picture.
Yeah, it's forcing that moment of deliberate thought, making you actually see the trade-off you're making, which is usually hidden.
That pause, that moment of reflection seems crucial. And that leads naturally into the small, practical changes the source talks about, right? It's not about flipping your life upside down overnight.
Not at all. It's
Done.
about small, actionable shifts,
Yeah.
incremental adjustments. So, for instance, instead of the daily coffee shop visit, maybe you make it a once-a-week treat. Brew at home the other days.
Okay, manageable.
Or, that expensive subscription box. Maybe swap it for a free library card. Different kind of discovery. 0 monthly fee.
Good one.
Or just commit to cooking one extra meal at home each week instead of getting takeout or delivery. Just one. These are about making conscious choices, knowing that each small decision is either building towards your financial future or, well, quietly taking away from it.
And the potential payoff from these small shifts is actually pretty amazing, isn't it? The source emphasizes how these tiny intentional changes can free up significant cash. Money that can then, finally, start working for you growing instead of just leaking away.
Redirecting those little streams.
Yeah, turning those trickles into potentially a real river of savings and future wealth. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, I think the big takeaway for me is just how powerful that idea of intentionality is and focusing on these small shifts. Like you said, it's not about massive, painful changes. They're practical adjustments, things you can actually do, but with potentially huge long-term effects.
Absolutely. I think the core value here is simply understanding these hidden costs. Because once you see them, you can make much more informed decisions. It gives you a clearer path towards whatever your financial goals might be. But, knowledge is only powerful if you apply it. And the source sort of implicitly asks, why don't we apply this simple logic more often?
Right. It seems obvious when you lay it out.
But it often comes down to those ingrained habits, doesn't it? And how our brains just default to the easy, immediate thing. Overcoming that inertia is the real challenge.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe here's a thought to leave everyone with. The next time you're right there, about to pay for some convenience, just pause for literally 5 seconds. Take a breath and genuinely ask yourself, what is the true cost of this? Not just the price tag, but the missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
The answer might actually surprise you. And realizing that could be the very first step onto a different path, one towards a richer and definitely more intentional financial life.